Hey everybody, it's me Ryan here, or MandRproductions, and welcome to ASK MandRproductions episode 39, I think. If you guys do like the video, of course, hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, of course, subscribe. And if you guys have a question for me that you want answered on next week's episode, of course, leave in the comment section down below. Make sure you do it ASAP, because I'm going to be recording next week's episode a little bit earlier than normal, because on Tuesday, I am leaving for BrickWorld Chicago. That's right, you can see me at BrickWorld Chicago this year. If you guys are going to be around town, definitely just Google up BrickWorld Chicago, and you can find out all about it. Anyway, you may be wondering why this ASK MandRproductions is a little bit shorter than normal, and that's because I've been working on a pretty big video. I don't really have a lot of time for this video this week, and I've been working on a big bust, if you will, and I need the time to work on that video as opposed to on this video. So it's going to be a little bit shorter than normal, but I hope you still get the same satisfaction out of it. You'll certainly get some satisfaction out of next weekend's video. Anyway, we're going to start this one out on actually a comment of the week from Huxleyberg Studios, who does Lego stop motion. I know him because I talked to him on Twitter a little. He has a joke for us. He says, "Did you hear about the box office for the new Star Wars movie? It's so low." Got him. Yeah, apparently the new Star Wars movie didn't do that great in the box office. Solo: A Star Wars Story apparently is going to lose like 50 million in the box office, and I don't know if Disney's going to lose money on it on the whole, because obviously there's merchandising and a lot of other things that they make money on, but in the box office, in its budget, it's lost some money, unfortunately, for Disney. So I think this is really because they didn't advertise the movie that well. Like, the movie didn't have its first trailer until 3 months before the movie. To compare that, the Lego Movie 2 already had its trailer come out, and that is 9 months before its movie comes out. So that's a pretty crazy difference with the advertising for the different films, so hopefully they get it right with episode 9. Bosk's Bounty simply wants to know, clones or stormtroopers? And while I'm tempted to say stormtroopers, I think growing up with clone troopers has made me kind of back into a corner with this answer, and I gotta go with clone troopers. I think if I was gonna build an army, it was gonna be clone army, right? That's the way it's always been here on YouTube, but the stormtrooper armies are pretty darn cool as well, especially with what Disney's been doing now lately. There's a lot more stormtrooper variants with death troopers and the Scarif stormtroopers and a bunch of other new stormtrooper variants from new Star Wars movies. I absolutely love what Disney's doing with it, and I hope they keep doing it in the future. ASAP Animation wants to know, what is an expanded universe set or figure that you want to see in Lego? Now, there have been a few expanded universe sets and figures in the past. Not too much. It's not something that Lego does, not even really even every year, but I would love to see the Raider. I believe it's from Star Wars Battlefront 2, but it's still kind of expanded universe to me. Like, it's not something that I've ever seen in a movie, so it counts as expanded universe, I hope. But yeah, the Raider is a awesome ship, and there have been some people that have actually built it in Lego, so we get an idea of what it could look like. It would be a rather expensive Lego set, probably. It kind of looks like a Sith Infiltrator, but a little bit different, I guess. So it would be a cool Lego ship as something just kind of a one-off set, maybe a Target or Walmart exclusive. I was gonna say Toys R Us, but Toys R Us doesn't really exist anymore. Ryan Studios says, why are the bathrooms in the Death Star always gross? And the answer to that is that the Stormtroopers always miss. You guys got a lot of good jokes this week. I'm sorry, there's gonna be a few jokes in this video. That's a good one. Stormtroopers always miss because they can't shoot with their guns, and they can't shoot with their other guns. Yeah. Just a random Stormtrooper says, who is your least favorite Lego YouTuber? Maybe because they might be boring or some of their actions may have been scummy. So I guess if you consider Bricks on the Dollar a Lego YouTuber, he's probably one of my least favorite. He's one of the Bricklink YouTubers that I went after pretty hard in my Bricklink YouTuber Brickbuster. And speaking of Brickbuster, well, anyway, yeah, he's probably one of my least favorite. Lifebrick Studios is one of my least favorite because he copies a lot of the stuff that I do, and he's generally very low effort. And there's a few others, but I'm not going to name names right now, but I named 2 names, so there you go. SPT Envol wants to know, what is your favorite Lego Star Wars Jedi Starfighter? And there have been a ton of Jedi Starfighters over the years, starting in 2002 with Obi-Wan's Jedi Starfighter, and most recently, or actually coming up in August 2018, we're getting a new Anakin's Jedi Starfighter from the Clone Wars. But I think my favorite, maybe it's nostalgia, maybe it's the color scheme, but I like Plo Koon's Starfighter from summer of 2010. It had a nice kind of blue striped design, and I really liked it. It was kind of a nice modern design with a nice color scheme. The blue and the white worked really well together, so that's probably my favorite, although a lot of the other ones have been really good, decent. You know, there haven't been really any bad ones, but that's just probably my favorite deep down inside. Benji Magic wants to know, which fairly old Star Wars sets have aged the best and still look great today? So I was gonna say, like, let's give this 10 years. Like, we'll go back 10 years, that'll be the limit. But that includes the 2007 MTV. So I decided that the first 5 years of Lego Star Wars, that means from 1999 to 2004, I can pick any set in that range and say it still looks great today. So let's go ahead and pick one. All right, so I'm going to exclude UCS sets from my answer because I think that makes it a little bit more interesting, but I have a few sets here on the list. I think the 4500 Rebel Snowspeeder from 2004, it was one of the first LEGO sets I got, and I might be a little nostalgic for it, but I think it still looks great. I think that is one that still looks great. The 4504 Millennium Falcon, we still see that general design in a lot of the Millennium Falcons, like they haven't changed it up too much. So I think that one definitely deserves to be noted as one that has held up very well over the years. And then a couple more would be the 4482 ATTE. That's the original ATTE from back in 2003, and I think it just had a great design. I think it actually looks really good, even with today's modern ATTEs, which albeit they look better, but I think that one still holds up today. And then of course the 4483 AT-AT from 2003 as well, a monster model. It's still the biggest AT-AT. All the AT-ATs since have been smaller, so that's definitely one that holds up today. So those are a few sets that I think from the early days of LEGO Star Wars are still really, really good looking. One by One Brick wants to know, what do you think about the new UCS Port, and have you seen it? Yes, I have seen it. I know what it looks like. There are pictures out there on the internet. If you want to go Googling, I guess you could. But the UCS Port looks like it's going to be a pretty good set for about $65. I'm really excited for it. It's supposed to come out like October-ish, that's the rumor, but it's coming out. Like, I've seen a picture of it. It's going to happen, so I'm really excited for what it will be. Obviously, I can't say too much without showing you a picture, so we'll just go ahead and move on, but I'm excited for it. Can't wait to get that one. Alley Bricks wants to know, what do you think of the new Bugatti set? I think it's a really nice looking set. It's a very nice, like, blue and dark blue color scheme on that thing. It's got a very bulky and, you know, really big build. The boxing, like the packaging of that set is incredible. Like, you open it up and then you have like the rims in it with all the boxes with the pictures of the car on it. Very, very nice looking. Just an overall great set. $350 is a little bit pricey, but it's a collector set. It's something made for adults that have the disposable income, and I'm totally behind that. $350 I think is fair, although pricey for, you know, younger people, but obviously it's not really geared towards them. So I think it's an awesome set, and I think a lot of collectors are going to like it. Here we have another joke. This one's from Corbin, and he says, what is Chancellor Palpatine's favorite drink? Diet Mountain Dew It. Get it? Like, do it. That do. Mountain Dew it. No, not funny? Okay, sorry. And I'm going to throw in another joke here before we move on to the next question. This one's from Wholock 52. And like I said, there were a lot of jokes this week that got a lot of likes on the last week's video. I don't know why, but there were just a ton of them that I saw, and they were really funny. He says, what did Poggle the Lesser say when he saw the sea, G, and ocean? As in G and ocean, but G and ocean? Dude, that's so good. That's so good. Asher wants to know if Corey, who is my 10-year-old cousin, has any LEGO sets I don't have. So I'm not 100% sure if he has any LEGO Star Wars sets I don't have. Chances are he doesn't, because I own a lot of the more recent ones, and he has more recent versions of sets. So I probably have everything he has as far as Star Wars, but he does have some Minecraft and City and various other theme sets that I wouldn't have myself. So it's possible that he has some sets I don't have, but as far as Star Wars is concerned, I probably have everything he has. Again, he's my 10-year-old cousin, so he hasn't been collecting LEGO nearly as long as me, and he doesn't really have anything I don't have that is Star Wars, at least. So hopefully it stays that way. I want to have them all. And we have a question from Wholock 52. He says, hey Ryan, why hasn't Bail Organa been in LEGO form yet? He's a huge character and he's never been in a set. So, of course, we see him mostly in episode 3, I think, or at least that's where I remember him from. And he, of course, is like sent away by the 501st Troopers, and then he's also seen later on the Tantive 4. It would be nice if in 2018, or 2019 rather, if LEGO does another Tantive 4 set, that they include him in that set, because he is kind of a character from Star Wars that is, you know, semi-well known. His name is thrown out there a lot, and it would just make sense for LEGO to produce him, and they just haven't produced him yet. So he would go well in like a Tantive 4 set. I mean, he just doesn't fit in a lot of sets that LEGO has made otherwise. He would also make a nice promo minifigure, I think, but again, that's just something LEGO hasn't done yet. So time will tell if he ever does get made, but as of now, it's been 20 years and we still haven't seen a Bail Organa figure, so who knows? So our final question should hopefully help this guy and you guys not get scammed, or at least know what you're buying when you're buying something on the internet. It's from Bricks Inc. and he says, hey Aminar, so I was recently watching a Brickatect video, and in it he had a link to a site, AliExpress, that sold sets for really cheap. I can't tell if the sets are Leopard or not, but the prices seem too good to be true. What do you think? Is it worth the risk? So AliExpress is a well-known and reputable online retailer. They sell Leopard and fake sets. They do not sell any real LEGO merchandise. If you go on AliExpress, do not expect to be buying anything that's genuine. So you're buying Leopard essentially if you go on AliExpress. Yes, the prices are too good to be true, but I believe you do get the price. Like, you're not getting ripped. Like, you're getting what you pay for. Like, you're gonna get it, but it's gonna be a knockoff version of what you're paying for. So just know that. Be smart when you're shopping, and don't get scammed out there, guys. Be smart. So that's all for this week's Ask MandRproductions. Keep an eye out for my next big bust. Thank y'all for watching. Like the video if you enjoyed, of course, and bye, everyone.